Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Exploring DC, where we take a piece of DC and explore with you. We got a good show today. We're talking about the animated film Justice League Gods and Monsters, a little Elseworlds for you, as well as some news. We got some release dates and a quick little couple things. But with me is only Jalen today. Jalen, how are you?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
Good. We had Luis and Jackson back for like 20 seconds, and now they're gone again, which is fun. I think is it their last week of school this week?
Yes. They both graduate. I think Jackson graduates on the 9th, whatever day
Okay.
that is. That's Saturday, right? So Jackson graduates on Saturday. Luis graduates on Friday.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
after this, they will be back to being main characters, I assume.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Yeah, because this was Luis's pick, so he was pretty disappointed about not
Yeah.
being here, man. But how are you?
I'm doing really good. How are you? I'm really doing really good. I was just about to say, how are you? My roommate,
Mm,
my roommate just came in my room.
Who's that?
I'm on the pod.
Oh, like the official
Yeah, like
podcast?
the official pod. You want to say hi for the
oh,
pod?
Sure. Is it
hi,
live?
It
roommate.
is live.
That's
This
hello.
is this is new on for all of our guests out there. I know he said I'm a film. Oh, you never met Josh?
I've never.
No, no, no.
Nice to
Yeah.
New
meet
one.
you.
What's your favorite DC movie and show? Top of the head, man.
I don't know as much about it as Jalen, but
First
my
thing you
favorite
think
DC
of.
movie we were actually the Batman because we watched a
There you
little
go.
bit of it last night.
That
Good,
was
good,
that
good.
was that was gonna be my something nerdy.
Okay.
Was we watched like 35-ish minutes of the Batman last night. So
Just the
yeah,
opening 35. That's some
I
good
think so.
stuff.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gas. Um,
Okay. Yeah,
but
Was
yeah,
I
what's new
like it,
for
man.
you, Josh?
Um, Not much. I did like a 3 hour. Well, it's like a 3 hour drive up and back this weekend to the other side of the state. But I didn't know that gas was going to shoot up like 70 cents until the day before that trip, and so
That's funny.
I got I got absolutely cooked on that front. But it was really nice. It was really nice, and I haven't been up to a ton of else. I've been playing DC Supervillain, so we're going to talk about in a couple weeks. That's been a lot of fun.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Best
Yeah,
DC game. Best Lego
yeah.
DC game.
I know it's a great time, but though there's a lot of levels, so I'm like I gotta make sure I'm on point and getting
Yeah,
through
there is.
everything. Yeah, that's about it. Today we're doing a quick one. We're talking about Justice League Gods and Monsters. This is a 2015 movie. Came out July 14th. In an alternate universe, very different versions of DC's Trinity fight against the government after they are framed for an embassy bombing. This is directed by Sam Liu, who we are slowly going through all of his movies. We've done All Star Superman before when we did the comic, then we did Superman
Mhm.
Red Sun, and now we're doing this movie, Justice League Gods and Monsters. And he's just directed about 7 other DC movies, so I'm sure we'll hit a lot more over the course
Do
of
you
time.
know in your list? Do you know what his most recent thing is?
Not off the top of my head, but I know that Red Sun's pretty recent. I don't think
Mm,
he definitely didn't do a lot of the later Tomorrowverse stuff. That was this guy named Jeff Wemester.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, here's like I guess like my thing, like like little filmmaker tidbit. I I'm sure that he's had so much fun directing some of these animated DC movies. You know,
Yeah.
especially like this one. Spoiler alert: I really enjoyed this one. But I sometimes wonder if directors who focus on these movies or animators want to do
Hmm?
something else and want more than to just be within the DC animated original movie time, pipeline. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think he's like doing it for the paycheck at this point? Is that what
Probably,
you're kind of saying? Yeah.
probably. Because
It's pretty. I mean, it's a pretty stable job.
yeah, I mean, if Superman Red Sun is his most recent thing, that was what 2020.
Yeah. So yeah.
So 6
There. I
years
might.
ago.
I
Oh my
might.
god.
I might be wrong. There might be something more recent, but that's off the top of my head.
Oh my
So
god. Yeah.
yeah, nothing crazy. But he didn't do a lot of like specific universe movies. He was always kind of doing these offshoot ones, which is cool.
Hmm.
Written by Alan Burnett, who helped write Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which I thought was pretty interesting. And then he also did writing work on both of the Green Lantern. animated movies.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Right, right.
He's great in my book.
Cast here is pretty interesting. Benjamin Bratt plays Superman. This is the guy that obviously he replaced Jimmy Smits or whatever his name is in Andor as Princess Leia's dad. And then he also was the love interest in the Catwoman movie we watched,
Oh
the hot
yeah.
cop character. So
What
he
did
plays
uh what did
Superman.
what did Elle Fanning say about Jack Black? Benjamin
You know,
Bratt to me is sex on wheels.
dude, I'm not even arguing it. It's crazy. I was kind of hoping his voice and charm came out more in this because this role's pretty subdued for him.
Very much so.
I was like, as soon as I saw him in the cast, I'm like, give me more Benjamin Bratt. Michael C. Hall plays Batman slash Kirk Langstrom. This is Dexter,
I
most
knew it was
famously.
fucking Dexter, bro. I was
Yeah.
like legitimately the entire time I was sitting here, and I was like, his voice sounds so freaking familiar, and like especially like that dry ass, monotone ass, like seeming like he could be a stalker type
hmm
shit, and lo and behold, you just gave it
Yeah,
to
I'll
me. Like,
say he's great. He's easily the
oh
best
yeah,
voice in this
oh
whole.
yeah.
I'm like, I need this as Batman. Give me more of this. As like regular
He
Bruce Wayne Batman.
he's my favorite one of the three.
Oh, easy work. And then Tamara Taylor plays Wonder Woman slash Becca. I at first when I saw her name, I confused her with Tiana Taylor, and I was like, "There's no way that
Me too.
she was doing this back in the day." But no, it is someone else. Jason Isaacs plays Lex Luthor. This is Draco Malfoy's dad from Harry Potter. He's actually been in a few DC things here and there, but it's cool to see him. C. Thomas Howell plays Will Magnus, who obviously is a big part in this. The House guy, House MD doctor.
Mm-hmm.
He also did though the voice of Thawne in Flashpoint, which I think is the highlight of that voice
Really?
cast.
That's dope. Yeah, it
Yeah, yeah.
is.
And then Paget Brewster plays Lois Lane. She did what's that show called? Like Punky Brewster, I think that's what. Or maybe that
Never
wasn't her.
seen it.
Maybe she did CSI. I don't know. There's two Brewster things, and I don't know if they're connected or not. But she plays Lois. And then you have all your standard voice cast people: Kari Walgren, Grey Delisle, D. Bradley Baker's in this, Carrie Payton, Josh
Yeah.
Keaton's in this, Yuri Lowenfall's in this, Carl Lumley. Pretty much like your whole roster of stables are in this one. I mean, besides Batman, is there any voice that really drew you?
Nothing that drew me, but I can't lie. Lois's voice. Lois as a character was just really annoying.
Yeah.
I groaned every time she was on screen, and there was something about her presence. I don't know if it was how she was written or what, but it was just so bitchy, you know.
How'd you feel about them giving her and Superman the same chopped haircut? You
They
know?
deserve each other. They deserve each other.
Oof. Yeah. What was your? This is your first time watching this one?
No, this
Okay.
is somewhere in the vein of 8 or 9,
Okay. So
roughly.
what's your experience with this one?
Yeah. So I actually own this one on DVD. On
Okay.
DVD and Blu-ray, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't watch it on DVD. I watched it on YouTube because apparently it's free. But back home, I have it on DVD and I believe Blu-ray. But I remember this is yet another Redbox tale. So I got this movie from the Redbox way back in 2015 because I remember
Yeah.
seeing the shorts. Because I don't know if you knew, but there are shorts associated with this movie on YouTube.
I found that out after the fact, and I didn't have time to watch them before this.
Yeah, me neither. But I watched the or rewatched the shorts. I didn't have time to do that, but I watched those first, and I was like, damn, I really like. I'm really kind of in love with the art style. I'm in love with the
Yeah.
action. I'm in love with the spin on the characters. It was Absolute before Absolute was a thing, if I'm being completely honest. Um, so I remember going to the Red Box and checking to see if the movie was in there, and it was. the one memory, I guess the one like relevant memory that I have that I remember that's tied to this movie is I remember having a nightmare about Batman. I don't remember what the nightmare was. I don't remember what like the
About
context of
Vampire
it
Batman?
was. Yeah, yeah, about Vampire Batman.
Hell yeah.
So it kind of scarred me for life there. But I love this movie nonetheless.
This is my first time, man. I didn't even know a lot about this, honestly. I think I've seen pictures of it before, but I had very, very little information on this. So this was probably as fresh as I could have gone into it.
And how was it as a first impression?
I really liked it, and it made me wish that there was a more robust version of this. Which
Agreement.
I think I'll start out with the positives, in which this is an Elseworld story, so sometimes like it's a weird interpretation of characters, but I think like stuff what we talked about with Batman Ninja and Red Sun and stuff. I really like when they take these characters in these different directions and really go for it. And this one's going for it in a really cool way. It kind of reminded me, not full on of like The Boys or Invincible, but in that vein where it's trying to go like a little dark and government controlled and authoritarianism, maybe injustice a little bit too.
Mhm.
I liked that vein, and I liked combining that with these alternate histories for these characters, and it created a really cool world. I mean, the Trinity really worked for me. I liked all their origins. I thought their dynamics were cool, and I liked the setup of where everything was going. I think it was too restrained in this format.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. So, what ways do you feel like it could have expanded out more?
One is just I just wanted more of everything. I don't think we got enough of particularly Wonder Woman and Superman stuff. I think Batman probably gets the most focus here, and it's
As
cool to
always.
see some of his yeah, it's cool to see some of his alternate history relationships with people like Will Magnus and Karen and all of that. I just wish that the other two were more well expanded and kind of got more into their heads, because a lot of the stuff we get with them is very surface level. I mean, it opens with Superman's flashback, but he still doesn't feel like the main character by any stretch of the matter. I really
Yeah.
think this is Batman's show.
Yeah. You know what? And I don't know if you have this in your facts or anything like that, but I believe they were supposed to spin this off into a series.
They said that they were going to do more of those shorts, like a second season of it.
Mm,
We'll have like
because I
10
think
episodes.
because I think they wanted to introduce like their version of the Flash, their version of Green Lantern,
That
and
would have
fill
been
it
really
out to
cool.
five instead of three. I don't know how they would have done their version of Aquaman or Martian Manhunter. Plus, especially because like half of the Justice, not half, but like a good chunk of the Justice League that we know all died in this movie. I'm gonna be honest. Ray Palmer dead, Victor Stone dead,
Yeah.
Karen Beecher and Mal Duncan, who are Guardian and Bumblebee from Teen Titans lore, both dead. Ryan Choi, who's the second, or technically I think the fourth Adam, dead. So it's like they definitely did a good amount of work on. Oh, Will Magnus and the Metal Men dead.
Dead.
You
Pretty
know,
much every smart character in existence just dies in this
yeah,
one.
pretty much every smart character except for Lex Luthor dead.
Yeah,
And then in
yeah,
their shorts, I believe they killed some people too. Victor Freeze, dead.
dead.
um, so I do agree with that sentiment there. Like I would have loved to have seen. I think in a way that I wanted them to flesh it out a little bit more. I would have loved to have seen what their version of Flash, and obviously I would have loved to have seen what their version of Green Lantern would have looked like.
Yeah,
Because right now Superman is basically Zod's son. Batman is Man Bat, but just redone. Because Kirk Langstrom, I don't know if you knew this, but Kirk Langstrom is Man Bat. That is his real
yeah,
name.
yeah. Hmm.
And Becca is legitimately a random New Gods character who appeared in less than I think 300 comics. Matter of fact, I think less than 200. So she has had a very little amount of comic time. Except for a fun fact about her, she was a Yellow Lantern for a little bit. She was part of
Ooh,
Sinister's
very
Corps.
cool.
in the New 52. That's pretty much her claim to fame right there. So I'm interested as to why they went with her over going Big Barda, or any of that. But I would have loved to have seen like what their spin on the Flash would have been, or what their spin on Green Lantern would have been. Kind of like how the Absolute Universe is doing now. Like this was legitimately
The
the
absolute
Absolute
before
Universe before
absolute.
the Absolute, universe
Yeah.
was a thing.
I was trying to look into the history of like the production of this, and I couldn't find anything off my little research that I did because the Wikipedia article's blank, and there wasn't like really a clear direction of how this came to be. This seemed like it was just a lot of the animation heads at the time, and I think Bruce Timm was involved to some extent. Just came up with a really cool spin on these characters. Is there one of the three that really stands out, or something about this universe that makes it stand out from like your typical Elseworld story? Because we've seen like authoritarian Superman, we've seen Wonder Woman in this context, and we've even seen literally you said it's Man Bat translated from here to
Mhm.
there. So like what makes this one interesting?
I think how it's all. I mean, yeah, you've seen authoritarian Superman before, but like how it's all kind of authoritarian. Like not just Superman, but also Batman, Wonder Woman. Like I'm gonna be honest, they could kill anyone they want to. Even when Superman figures out that someone is trying to frame him, he has that little like freaking laugh and is like, "Who would have the balls to frame us?" Like he's not worried in the slightest because he
Right.
knows that anyone who goes up against the three of them is automatically losing. They are the most powerful people in the galaxy. Um, and I would have loved to have seen more of what that power scale is like. And then obviously the character for me that was the most interesting was Batman. Obviously, like I love what they did with his lymphoma and then proceeding to make him a vampire. That whole honestly, his relationship with Tina and Magnus was like a highlight for me. His flashback was the one that had me like locked in. The other
Yeah.
three were, I
Same.
mean, I was in, like I was still interested, but I wasn't as locked in as I was for Batman or for Kirk's flashback. And honestly for every Kirk moment, like his talk with Magnus while Magnus is getting yelled at by Karen Beecher, or even like the fight when Batman tries to save all the scientists from the Metal Men but ends up getting his shit rocked and all the scientists die and all that other stuff. Like it was so cool. Plus his bat suit is so freaking cool.
Aura.
It is legitimately aura incarnate, dude. But yeah, what about you? Is there a character or a part of this universe that stands out the most to you?
Well, I mean, brought up a lot of good points. Here's the thing with Batman: it's you got Michael C. Hall doing a great job, and you have that bat suit raising it up, and it's like, how does that killer combo not make it the highlight? Like every scene is just so striking and interesting.
Yeah,
And I think the way he delivers the cold hearted, like it's cold, but I think that's why he's so good at Dexter too. He just knows how to do this type of role, and he brings that to Batman,
yeah,
and it's freaking sick. It's so cool. But what I liked about this team in particular is that it's a really good team dynamic. There's no forced bickering and like big conflicts within each other or them like splitting up, which you've seen a lot of team movies, especially when they start out as a team from the get go. It's always like, how do we
hmm,
break them up for a little bit? This one, like, there's a little bit of tension, but for the most part, they just work together and get along. And
yeah,
I think that's really interesting considering they're all like cold hearted people, but they're not at each other's throats.
yeah. I agree with that. I didn't even factor that fact in because in everything in Justice League and the Avengers and Fantastic Four for a little bit, Guardians obviously, there is always like that bickering of like,
Yeah,
oh, I we gotta find a reason to fight and then make up in the third act. You know what I mean?
right.
So to see that they're just honestly like a well factored unit. Okay, okay. Thinking about it a little bit, it does make it a little uninteresting, I guess, in some senses, because I would have loved to have seen more of that conflict
I
They're
suppose, but I liked their external conflicts a lot, and I don't think
fair
they
enough.
needed to have a bunch of internal things. I think it honestly made them scarier when they were a threat to people. It's just because
Yeah,
like they just seemed like an unstoppable force when they really
that's
put their mind to it.
so.
Um,
Let me ask you this: if you were living in this world, would you see them as a threat, or would you see them as a protector, as a set of protectors?
I think honestly it reads very similar to like like I said, the boys are invincible, where it's like these people, these superheroes are government sanctioned and they're killing people, but they're trying in the name of saving us. Does that justify things?
Hmm.
And I probably wouldn't agree in universe, but I also, can't even imagine that type of scenario. But I think it's always an interesting concept of like if superheroes existed, the government would probably try to have some level of control or influence with them. And that brings in that Project Fair Play plot that they do here, where the whole thing is there's these group of scientists that have secretly been working on a way to subdue and kill the Justice League. And you pretty much have, like you said, every scientific brain possible in this lineup. And the cool thing is they're doing like a long Halloween thing where they're slowly getting killed off and we don't know what's going on. How did you feel about the focus on this side of the DC universe? Because it's stock full of characters, but it's all specific to one kind of like sector of DC, which is the intellectual side.
I liked it. I mean, I feel like that's the side that gets like the least amount of, or not the least, but it doesn't get that much shine.
Right.
Um, because I mean, I'm sure we could go through most, or if not all, of the characters in that scene, and numerous people would not know who a single character is. Even Will, the Metal Men are very. The Metal Men, I
Hmm.
think, have only been adapted in, I think, one thing prominently, which is Batman: Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, and we were supposed to get that animated movie, and it just never materialized. It's still
Yeah,
technically on the docket, but I don't think ever we'll get that.
and I'm sure if the DCU continues past 3 years from now, then I'm sure at some point we will get the Metal Men, or we'll get like a mention of Will Magnus and all that other
Hmm.
stuff. But even like going through Ray Palmer, Ryan Choi, Karen Beecher, Mal Duncan, Dr. Savannah, a bunch of those other scientists in there, are very, very, very obscure. So to get for them to get the highlight for a little bit is very it was very cool to see. It
Yeah,
was
no,
super
I
duper
agree.
cool to see.
Yeah, it was. I just like the murder mystery of it all and figuring out I thought the Magnus's what would you call them, like metal assassins, alloy assassins were cool. I thought they looked pretty
So
cool.
okay, so the Metal Men are I believe in the comics there are six, but in the
Something like
film they
that.
decide to do five. So obviously you have 10, who is the little kid one. You have
Yep.
Platinum, who is the Tina double, or the Tina AI, or the Tina whatever that was. That's Platinum.
Yep.
She's a person who actually has a crush on Batman in the comics.
Yes.
Um, you also have your three, the Superman one, the one to emulate Superman, the one to emulate Batman, and the one to emulate Becca or Wonder Woman.
Hmm.
I believe the one to emulate Becca was gold, like that was the metal. You also
Hmm.
have iron and you have copper. In the comics, they have
Interesting.
way more like personality. They don't have any of those powers. Like it,
No,
everyone makes specific shapes related to their metal. They're
that's
all
cool.
shapeshifters, like plastic men, but metal to specific shapes. Think that.
I didn't mind it at all. I thought Tin was cool to have that little thing there, and then
Yeah,
the platinum twist kind of took me. I didn't expect that for
yeah.
her to have been dead the whole time. I thought that was pretty cool. It was. I honestly really liked seeing a focus on metal men stuff because, like, when are you ever gonna get that type of focus? It's really
Not
cool,
for a while. Not
and
for a
they
while.
on it, and it didn't feel like corny or over the top. It actually naturally fit in really well, and I thought they did a
Exactly.
good job with the Magnus twist of him being the villain. He's in the DCU. He was in that Creature Commandos episode for about 2 seconds.
He was.
So
Oh my
maybe
God, he was.
maybe we'll get some Metal Men follow up stuff.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
if James Gunn can keep his mouth shut and the universe can keep going, then maybe.
Um, but you said the Batman design's really cool. I wanted to shout out the Wonder Woman design as well. I thought that was super
Yeah,
sick. I like the all
very cool.
white. I hate the Superman design. I think it's so boring.
It emulates Zod. It legitimately is a Zod fit.
Maybe it's the hair because the hair is like I said, very chopped. And
His facial structure also looks really weird. Like he looks like he got
right,
Botox. Like the way that he's animated, it's like his cheeks are raised all the way up to his
yeah.
eyes.
I saw what they were going for, but at the same time, it just but Wonder Woman and Batman had such interesting designs, and Superman was so like blah by
Yeah,
comparison. And I think that kind of extended to his character. I think being the weakest of the three. I didn't really
the
connect,
weakest
like you said,
written
with
for you.
yeah. I thought like I've seen a lot of the Superman stuff before. I didn't think Lois was particularly interesting. Lex kind of was doing the same thing as always, with just like a little more Professor X in him.
Hmm.
It was fine, you know. I like I said, every time Batman came on, I was way more drawn to that, and even some of the Wonder Woman stuff, while pretty surface level of like her backstory with Orion and Darkseid and everyone, that was still way more interesting than like Superman just being General Zod's kid instead of Jor-El's.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, kind of like you said, it was a lot of just the same stuff over and over again. With Super, it it was very mediocre. Like that's the stuff that
Yeah,
hit the least for me. Was all the Superman stuff. Lois was just straight up annoying. Um, Lex, like you said, was just doing the exact same Lex Luthor shtick.
yeah,
So those are the parts that kind of threw me out of it a little bit.
right.
So let me ask you this: how did you feel about? Because we talked about Will and Tina and that relationship to Kirk, but how did you feel about Steve Trevor?
Anything's better than the Wonder Woman animated movie we watched, where he's awful in that. I liked
Sure,
him. I
sure.
kind of wish we could have got more of him, but he was essentially in kind of a Rick Flag role here, and it worked perfectly fine for me. I liked seeing Waller as the president. I thought that was cool,
That was cool.
and that would make
That was
sense why if Waller was the president, yes, she would work with this type of Justice League compared to your standard president.
yeah.
There was a lot of like small characters that I didn't mind. I didn't mind their roles at all. I thought they made a lot of sense.
Agreed. Agreed. Steve, I for Waller as the president, it did feel like a natural progression of things. You know,
Yeah,
because it feels like in main timeline, eventually she would have ended up as president, or that is
right.
like a level of power that she would have wanted to attain. You know,
Yeah, and it's definitely obtainable for someone like her.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, I don't have any other big points on this one. Do you? Actually no. I do want to say the animation. I'm not a big fan. I wish it had a lot more color and a lot more splash to it. Even though it's supposed to be dark, it's like you get to that third act and things are just there's nothing there. When Superman's out there fighting this that army,
Yeah, low key, man. The fight scenes kind of went hard to me. I don't know
the
something about the one of Batman trying to save all the scientists and trying to like
oh
intercept
that one is cool.
that one
I
was
think I
very
just mean
cool.
more like I don't know. Maybe it's not the fluidity of the animation, but just kind of like some of the backgrounds
Yeah,
and colors and stuff.
I'm interested to see what you'll think of the DCAU later movies, like the legacy movies that they tried to make, Batman and Harley Quinn and
Right.
Justice League versus the Fatal Five. I'm interested to see what you think of it because the animation there is kind of the same style, just a
Interesting.
little bit more updated.
I liked that Jor-El was animated to look like Bruce Timm Superman from the animated
That
series.
was cool. Yeah, that
That
was
was very
cool.
cool. There's a lot of cool touches, man. Uh, I like this one. Though. I don't. I would just love more. Like, here's the thing. There's not a lot to go off of here, and so I kind of want them to just make more of this.
Yeah.
And I don't
Okay,
know
so
if we'll ever do that.
So let me ask you this, I guess, to end off this segment before we go into news and if we have any
Yeah,
games or anything for the app. W- What is a character you would have loved to have seen their spin on, and what do you think that spin would have been?
a character I would want to see in this type of universe.
Yeah, and what
Hmm,
do you think the spin would have been for that, or would be for that character?
that's a good question, man. Do you have one off the top of your head? I'm thinking Martian Manhunter would be very cool, but I don't know what spin I would put on it.
I'm thinking Green Lantern,
Yeah,
and hmm, maybe. I mean, the most obvious one is having it be one of the aliens, one of like a random alien or something that has came to Earth
right.
and and has taken up the ring and is choosing to protect Earth because they've fallen in love with Earth. That is the main spin, but I feel like there's something way more infinitely interesting than that. You know what I mean? I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. It was funny seeing Cyborg get killed 5 minutes in. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I thought they were setting something up, and then he just goes, oh shit, and then he's dead.
Yeah, then he's just hey, he had a relationship with his father here though. He actually had a pretty good relationship with his father, so that was his difference. That
Yeah,
was that was a spin
there
on
you go. That
Cyborg.
was the big spin. Yeah, man. I don't think I would come up with better versions than what they would come up with. I just would love to see more of this kind of like semi dark, but not fully super violent take on DC. It was like a nice middle line. It was actually really refreshing, especially like
Yeah,
I said, because I just finished the new season of Invincible and The Boys is on, and this is reminding me a lot of that, but just in a way that's a little more palatable than like
agreed.
the full satire that those shows kind of do sometimes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I do want to bring up one last thing. This is called Gods and Monsters, and also the DCU was introduced as Gods and Monsters. Do we think that
Uh,
there's any like influence that he's drawing upon here?
I I think at first it was the question of superheroes as terrorists or superheroes as protectors.
Mm,
Um, Now I'm gonna be honest. I think is not really a theme. I think it's just we have a character we want to introduce. Do you have a good enough script for us to push this into production?
yeah.
Let's push it into
It's not
production.
a it's not a story thing. But yeah, I definitely read that in Superman with stuff they did with the Justice Gang. It reads very similar to this and Kingdom Come and a
Mhm.
few of those other
And then, of
titles.
course, like Salvation is all about that. Even though Salvation in itself is an uninteresting comic run, being
Yeah.
completely honest, but Salvation is like the precipice of that question. You know,
Do you think James Gunn's seen this movie? I think he'd like it.
I'm sure he didn't just get gods and monsters from nowhere. He's definitely seen this movie.
Yeah. It's a cool movie, man. My big takeaway is more of this, probably with more higher budget animation. And then I'd also like to see Michael C. Hall play voice Batman again. Because now that I've
Yeah,
heard it, I want more of it.
that would be dope. That would be
Yeah.
dope. Imagine Michael C. Hall voices him in Creature Commando season two.
Ooh. Dude, wait. I mean, if you're doing semi older Batman,
Yeah.
would he really be a bad option?
No, or even like he could be. I mean, because he technically plays Kirk Langstrom. Could he
Yeah,
not
he
just
could still
play
be
Kirk
Man Bat.
Langstrom? Yeah, he could
That's
be Man
true.
Bat. He would be Michael C. Hall would be a good Man Bat.
But they brought Dexter back. He's probably busy doing all that stuff. You know.
I thought the new show was canceled. Is it still going
No,
on?
no, no, no. They brought that back. They're doing another
Yeah,
one. I don't know, man. I don't watch. That's a Showtime thing. I don't got money for Showtime.
me
It's
neither.
a whole
Big
other
man
thing,
said
dude.
bad.
Let's get some news going. Let's get some news going, man. I just have like four stories, but I don't think either is gonna be crazy
Yeah,
long. But let's get into it. Lanterns premiering August 16th on HBO. We
yeah,
knew about this hidden August. Now we know exactly when. This is very, very similar to the window for Peacemaker because that was like August 20 something, like 22nd or 23rd.
Yeah.
So this is not far behind at all.
I wonder, and I actually meant to ask you this question for this episode, but what do you think their release schedule is going to be for their projects? Because obviously this year's three, last year was two, the year before that was only one at the end of the year.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna be honest, that kind of bled into 2026, so I would count 2026 as a three, or 2025 as like a three
yeah.
project year too. So do you think it's gonna be three projects a year, either two shows and a movie, or two movies and a
Well,
show?
didn't they say they were going to do two and two at the
That's what they
beginning of
said.
this,
That's what
around
they
when we
said.
started this
But they
pod?
also haven't upheld that. You know what I mean?
I don't think they have enough stuff in production to get that going, but I know
What?
next year we're only going to get one DCU movie, and we're probably going to get quite a few TV shows. It's the same issue with the MCU, man. I think they go into these TV show things with high expectations, and they're just going to end up diluting everything by, I don't know, like putting too many shows out and not enough movies out.
Yeah. So do you count? Do you think My Adventures of Superman counts as an Elseworlds thing?
Yeah, that's not a
Okay.
they're not
So
even
technically,
thinking about that when they're putting out there like we're gonna do this and this.
well, would they not? Because I thought Elseworlds
No,
was still a technically like a DC
that's
studio
that's small
thing
that's small potatoes stuff, dude. They're not thinking about Harley Quinn or Bat Fam or whatever. You know?
when they're thinking of their release schedule. Yeah. Which I
Yeah,
mean, I do wish we got something else other than the Batman and Man of Tomorrow next year because I'm kind of tired of Superman stuff. Like not tired, but I want to see more. Like I want to see another character movie other than Superman,
right.
Supergirl, Superman. I
Superman
mean,
and
Clayface is
Batman.
cool, but like I wanna see like this Wonder Woman movie or the Teen Titans movie or
No, that's
the
fair.
Salvation movie or any of these other or freaking Swamp Thing. They still have that to do.
I think we'd feel a lot different if the universe wasn't announced at the beginning of 2023. So now we're like 3 years deep when we're not actually 3 years deep. We're like 1.5 years deep. If
Yeah,
the universe was announced at the end of on the back half of 2024, this would we would be having a totally different conversation. It'd be super fresh.
yeah.
We'd be like, damn, they already got three movies out and all these shows and all this stuff is gearing up. But because we waited all of 2023 for stuff and all of 2024 for stuff, because all the 2023 stuff was leftovers, now it just feels like, oh man, we've waited. Next year, we'll be waiting 4 years, and all we've gotten is two or three super related movies and a Clayface movie.
That is a Batman related movie technically.
Yeah, it's like that's when you frame it like that, yeah. But I think if you framed it as in we're literally only in the second year of things,
That's true.
I don't think we're doing too bad. It's just kind of right now it's the wait for everything. But yeah, speaking of like you said, My Adventure Superman's coming out this year. We've been talking about that. I've been wanting it so bad because it
Yeah.
took last year off after season one and season two came out back to back release years. They took last year off, and now this year is coming out June 13th on Adult Swim. Very, very excited for this. The poster was Cyborg Superman, which was super
It's gonna
exciting. And
it's
we
it's
also know Superboy is going to be in this, and obviously Supergirl already got introduced. So we are doing some form of Reign of Superman.
I've
Maybe not Death
also
of Superman, but definitely elements of that because also John Henry Irons is in the show as well.
I've also heard that Jessica will be introduced in this
That
season.
is the other thing I wrote down because they're going to do some form of like backdoor pilot thing since her show is in pre-production and waiting to get picked up. It's the same showrunner and everything. I don't know if we'll get a full episode or if it'll just be like her teaming up with Superman for an episode or what the situation will be, but I think it'll be very much like a spin-off setup situation.
God, I'm so excited. Even like just seeing that one random Green Lantern
Yeah,
AI or something that Brainiac created in season two, and seeing how they use the Green Lantern powers in like this
it's going to be
animated content.
sick.
By far, maybe the coolest iteration of the Green Lantern powers that I've seen put to screen. It was so freaking cool, and it was a random. Like
Yeah.
imagine what they would do if you got like full screen time with Jessica or Hal or John or any of these other characters in the My Adventures universe. I'm also very interested to see like what the conversation was like because I'm sure in their mind they were like, okay, so we're gonna have the DCU running, but now My
Hmm.
Adventures is gonna span off into a universe as well. Interesting.
But this was a thing. This is a whole separate division that was starting before the whole DCU takeover. Like My Adventures was in the works as far back as 2022, 2021. Actually, I think it got announced either 2021 or 2020 at one of those
DC
DC
fandom.
DC fandom things. Because I remember the
I think it,
preliminary
I
picture,
believe it was
and then it took
2021.
quite a few years to come out.
Yeah.
This has been a whole thing for a while. I just it's James Gunn just needs to let them do their own thing. I just hope the Adult Swim numbers keep up because I loved the first two seasons very dearly. It literally is just anime Superman. Like it reminds
Yeah.
me of Pokemon, Ben 10, all this fun stuff. In season three, like I think people could be concerned of like, oh, they're doing all these like Reign of Superman things, Superboy, Cyborg Superman, but they've always deviated from your standard stuff. Like Deathstroke is a big character in season one, but yet it still
Hmm.
rocks. I always get nervous about some of the designs, but based on the design of Cyborg Superman and the Superboy concept art we got, those look perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And all
Those
the whatever the pictures they've been sent are putting out of Jessica Cruz, I don't think are official, but if that's what she looks like, she'll look great too.
Wait. They put out some pictures,
Well, every
or
time you
maybe that
see
was
like
official.
every time you see the picture of Jessica when they like make news about it, that's kind of like the vibe they're going for. That's not an official picture, but
Got you. Okay. Well, if this is how she looks, dog, I am so happy.
yeah,
If that's how
it'll
she
be great.
looks, if that's how she looks fucking peak.
Yeah. Do you think her show will get picked up, or do you think it's just all dependent on this episode or however how the season goes?
All dependent on episode, season, also how Lanterns does. If
That's
Lanterns
true.
does well, then
Because
maybe.
if Lanterns gets a ton of interest, then they might like lean full in.
Which I know I shit on it a lot, but I think that from a writing perspective, it will be very good. It's just a matter of how much will it please Green Lantern fans specifically.
Yeah,
I'm sure as a show it'll be dope. Like it's
right.
probably gonna be really good. But as
It's
a
just us being
performance,
nerds that are gonna complain, you
yeah,
know,
yeah, for sure.
for sure, man. Creature Commandos season two, episode one. We heard that they had animatics. He said most of the scripts are done. It's looking like it's progressing good. I'm thinking this is gonna be late this year, early next year, maybe, unless they hold it for later next year. But it's looking like it's making good progress. And episode one's title got revealed as Starry Night. Now, obviously, this could be nothing, but we could also read into it as nerds and be like, this is a Starro continuation,
Mm,
or maybe like I see a lot of people want Captain Atom in this show,
that would be
and I
good.
think that could still
Or
fit.
there's another character who uses the staff before Stargirl named Starman.
Yes. And we've
That could be
seen how
cool.
big GI Robot got. It's very similar to Stripe in
There you go.
Stargirl and stuff like that. There's a lot of ways they could go with that, but I'm honestly getting more excited for this season because it's kind of going to be a new thing. It's got Dean Lorey full running the show without James Gunn. We're not doing
Mhm.
character backstories every episode anymore.
Yep.
It's not like I don't even think Rick Flag's going to be a big part of it. It didn't seem like it by the end of the season. I think there's a lot they could do
Thank
with the
God.
second season.
Thank freaking goodness, dude. I'm so
you
tired
know
of Rick Flag. And how much do you want to bet he's gonna be in either Lanterns or Clayface?
that guy's not gonna fucking show up in Clayface.
I have a feeling he's gonna show up in Lanterns. We got to see his
Maybe
tiger.
every time I every time I see the Frank Grillo Instagram videos where it's like him just full shirtless in the gym, being like, "I'm gonna kick Superman's ass." I think it's
Yeah.
so funny, dude.
This is exactly what he wanted from Crossbones. Like I
Yeah,
remember when he was like going off on the Russos for I guess lying to him about Crossbones' involvement. Even though I will say in Winter Soldier he got a lot of involvement, and
he
he's friends with
did.
Cross. He's not like a big Marvel villain. He's not going to get that much screen time. And honestly, the way he went out was
It was
honestly
pretty
a very
cool.
good way because it propels the story.
The
Like
whole
it
movie.
propels the whole phase. I'm gonna be honest. He propelled the whole phase. So, but then he was like, yeah, but they promised me this movie and this movie and this TV series. They like they had like a whole few picture deal, and it's like dog. So I bet
It
you, as soon as he signed on to this and he saw how much stuff Flag was gonna appear in and maybe possibly be the main villain of a Justice League Salvation movie, where he
he's
brings
like
all these
creaming
characters
himself,
together.
man.
He probably had an orgasm. He was probably reading his deal like, oh my god, finally, let's shit on Marvel. You know?
You know, every time I think back of him in Creature Commandos, I think more of the fact that James Gunn gave him that silver hair and beard and had him hook up with a blonde white lady. And I'm like, James Gunn, I know what you're doing, man. You're not subtle about it.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah,
can deny that all you want, but, like, let's be for real.
yeah.
And then it doesn't show up again in the other shows. Now he's back to black hair.
James Gunn is a James Gunn is a
It's funny.
he is a studio head, all right. He is a
Yeah,
studio head.
yeah. You know, honestly, we didn't talk about it, but we've been looking at his threads posts. Not that this matters like a ton, but it's so crazy how many times he just like we talked about this before. He keeps walking himself into a corner, and this week he was like this whole thing the whole time. He's like, guys, Blue Beetle's the first character in the DCU, and the Suicide Squad. All the events are canon, but not the movie, and all this stuff. And then someone's asking him about it. He's like, honestly, guys, I don't know. What do you think is canon? Maybe we should do a podcast about it. And I
After
was
Man
like,
of Tomorrow, so
I
people
was
got to
like,
wait a whole year to
I was
see
like,
if these two are canon.
Jimmy, my guy, don't say that out loud. Can you imagine if Kevin Feige was on Twitter and he's like, guys, I don't know, should the Daredevil stuff be canon, or like
Yeah.
what characters should we bring back? Do we care about Iron Fist? Like, let's have a podcast about it. Like, dude, we're not. Look, you want to be everyone's friend. That's cool, man. But you're also like you're too high up at this point to be at that level of conversation with the people.
Yeah, he also like I feel like he wants to catch stuff before leakers do. So he wants to go ahead and discredit everything. He wants to go ahead and
Hmm.
confirm everything. He wants to, but he's doing too much.
He's trying to
Like
control the news of
yeah,
DC.
like I watched the Escape Pod with Brad Winderbaum, and I've also watched some of the Marvel podcasts that they do, that they
Hmm.
used to do on Wednesdays with, and the ones they had with Kevin Feige, and like you hear them talk, and yeah, like they confirm some stuff and they deny some stuff, but they do it in a way to where they don't have to walk themselves back. Because
No, it's a
just in
lot
case something
more.
changes, yeah, I say just in case something changes behind the scenes for
Right,
them, because they know stuff is always changing, scripts are always being written. I'm sure there are probably so many Marvel scripts and pitches that they have on their table that's like, all right, how do we fit this in before or after Secret War? You know what I mean?
right.
And
But we don't
you
know
don't
about it. We're not hearing about it
yeah,
every
yeah, I
day.
say we don't know about, and I think that's part of the fun, because even one of my main complaints, I really like Superman. I really like Superman a lot. But before Superman was coming out, he confirmed every single character that was in that movie,
Hmm.
even Supergirl. And I was like, wouldn't it have been a little bit more like fun and enjoyable if you didn't know about some of these characters off it? Like every single one that's appearing,
Yeah.
leave a little bit for some surprise, like let people get hype in the theater. That's part of the appeal with superhero movies. People go in and they're like, okay, what are we gonna see? What character are we gonna see? What fight scene are we gonna see? Is there gonna be surprise characters or not? Is there gonna be a surprise tease for an event? Like
I
let
will.
like let people wonder.
I will say he's doing better with promoting. I don't know if I'll say better, but he's doing a different. approach of promoting these like non James Gunn things. Like
Mhm.
Supergirl's heavy in its marketing, but he's not all over that movie posting about it every day. In Lanterns, he's honestly just posted the official stuff that they've given him. He's not really talked about it a lot. Even I
Yeah.
mean, Clayface he's done a little bit, but with Man of Tomorrow and Superman and Peacemaker, it was like you're getting behind the scenes photos, you're getting all this stuff, you're getting like you said every little detail, and he's not doing that as much with these other things. Is that does that mean these other things aren't as good? We don't know, but he definitely is way more hands off. But that still leaves the problem, like you said, with these ones that are his involvement, which has been the entire universe so far. It's like, dude, you're you're just yapping too much.
Yeah.
Like it's cool.
He
It's like there's still a novelty to it of the fact that he'll go out and confirm things instead of us speculating about it for months. But that also leads to all these risks of just like he's overindulging of how much he talks about it, and I think it's getting people disinterested in DC conversation sometimes
Yeah.
because it's
Because
like,
I know
what's
it
the fun in
definitely.
speculating about shit if James Gunn's just gonna go yell at you on Twitter or Threads, you know?
And then for him to say, "Oh wait, you guys, I never said this. I said this. I don't know where you guys saw that I said this. I don't know where you guys saw that I said that Suicide Squad was canon. I said this." Like, yo, just chill out, James. Like, chill out on
Ugh.
this. Let people be wrong. Like, let people be wrong, please. For once in your life, let people be wrong, or let
The
people be
whole
right.
big
It doesn't
the whole
matter.
big complaint was that this wasn't a hard reset, and if you're gonna tell me that those things don't matter anymore and that it is a reset, but it's
And
still not
like,
a hard reset,
and
doesn't
like
make
that's
any
what I
sense,
that's what
man.
I that's what I that's what I freaking hate, bro. Is like Peacemaker season 2 was truthfully it wasn't my cup of tea, but I know it was a lot of people's cup of tea until that final episode.
Yeah,
It should have been full blown restart. You know what I mean?
I know,
Because
I
now
know, man.
you write yourself in a corner, kind of like how Flashpoint did for the DCAU or DCAMU or whatever, where it's like, okay, so is the Flash? So did the Flash technically happen?
Right,
You know,
I know what you're
and
saying.
it makes no sense. And it's
No,
like I want this universe to succeed so bad because I want people to be excited about DC as much as they are about Marvel. Like I want, no other universe can say that they went through 5 years of hell, 5 years of turmoil, like of people shitting on every other project and people loving every other project. And now for
yep,
people to be so freaking excited about stuff like Daredevil and Spider Man and Avengers and all this other when just like a year ago people would be like, no one cares about that. No one cares about Avengers. No one, but people are legitimately waiting
feeling it.
every day for a trailer, you know. like I want DC to have that so bad, but it's like
I
the
think
people
they
who
do to some extent. It's just, it's tricky. I think it's literally just
yeah.
these trailers this year and James Gunn talking, and like I've talked about before, it's that 10 month gap where maybe looking back at these podcasts will be silly, you know, because people will be like, oh, like if we encapsulate the DCU in like 5 years from now, it might be super sick all the way through. But right now, there's a lot of doubt, and I think that's just because we've been burned a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last one I got here, NetherRealm. NetherRealm Studios, who is making all the Mortal Kombat stuff, also made a couple games called Injustice and Injustice 2. And someone working at NetherRealm Studios put like on their resume that they're working on Injustice 3, which has now seemingly like been speculated that it might not be Injustice 3, it might be another just generic DC game or DC versus Mortal
Mhm.
Kombat 2. It's a little more ambiguous about what this is, but it seems like there's a very good chance, I would say like 70 to 80%, that NetherRealm is working on another DC game.
Which I love.
Are you excited about that? Have you played a lot of the Injustice stuff?
Oh yeah, I love the Injustice stuff.
I
I
do
used to watch
too.
this.
It's
I used
great.
to watch this YouTuber name. I think Caboose was his name, but like he used to
Yeah,
like always speculate about which characters were coming out, and like he would have
they still
crazy
add
cool.
characters to the mobile version, dude.
Do they
They're in
actually?
the Supergirl. They're in the Supergirl movie costume.
Dog, that's kind of crazy. But like, do they add new characters or do they just add new skins for existing characters?
I think it's mostly skins, but it's only the mobile version and stuff. It's kind of
Okay,
like how
right.
the old one, the old mobile one, added stuff forever. But
Well,
sometimes I see that and I'm like,
the old mobile one had the Atom, like randomly,
yeah.
like had like a whole mission dedicated to the Atom, even though
The old one
people
had Batman Who Laughs. That's how late it got into the thing. That was like 2019.
Jesus, man. Yeah.
I
Well,
know.
I mean, either way, I'm very, very, very excited for it. I
What do
think that's
you
really cool.
think it's gonna be? Are you leaning more Injustice Free? Are you leaning a DC Mortal Kombat 2 or a Secret Third thing?
DC Mortal Kombat, being truthful,
That would
especially
be
with
pretty
Mortal
sick.
Kombat. Yeah, but say especially with Mortal Kombat 2 about to release, and apparently it's been
Yeah,
getting really good reviews. So I
yeah.
don't know.
I would be.
Momentum, momentum in
Ye-
media.
I watched. I think it was this weekend on YouTube an entire history about every Mortal Kombat game and just
Mhm.
kind of like where they came from, what systems they were on, and stuff. And I would be very excited to see because they were when like almost full bankrupt, and then they got bought out, and they were allowed to make NetherRealm Studios and keep going. And they had this complete resurgence for the past couple Mortal Kombat games. I think aside from the most recent one having some controversy, but before that, the last couple were like they really brought themselves back, and Injustice was a big part of that. It was a big
Yeah.
thing of the fighting community and fighting games, and it's really paved the way for stuff. So I would love to see them have one big final success and maybe do a more robust version of what DC, because DC vs Mortal Kombat came out in like 2009 or 2011. It was before Injustice 1. I think they could do so much more now
Yeah.
with the lineups and stuff. Like,
Agreed.
dude, you can get some crazy kills now compared to like even when Injustice 2
Yeah.
came out. Just the
Yeah.
technologies developed over the past 10 years. I would be very, very excited. I'd be very excited, man. I'm just happy to see another DC game because we're getting like a Batman, but that's all we know of officially.
Yeah.
There's nothing else officially on the horizon, man.
And then what happened to games that tied into the DCU? What happened to those?
That was a whole load of bullshit unless the DCU gets wildly successful, man. There's no way that's happening.
Oh god, James. Either way, bro. Whether it's Injustice 3 or DC versus Mortal Kombat, it's gonna be dope. I'm very
It's
excited for
gonna
more
be dope.
games outside of Lego Batman.
Who was your Injustice main? Was it just Green Lantern again?
No, actually, surprisingly not. Surprisingly, Green Lantern. I think I didn't really use him that much. I used Green Arrow.
Oh yeah, the
Green
Stephen
Arrow is
Amell one was
definitely
cool.
Stephen Amell one was dope. That
Oh
was very
yeah,
dope.
I was a Lobo guy. He was only in the like the gold edition or whatever the first game. He
Oh,
wasn't
I
part of
was
the base
also a
roster.
Nightwing guy. I was
Oh,
a big
Nightwing's
Nightwing
cool.
guy as well.
Yeah, dude. I need to go back. That mobile game, I had a lot of hours on that shit. A lot of hours. I could tap back
Hearing a
in.
lot of hours on a mobile game is something that I haven't heard in years, Josh.
Dude, no, Injustice Free was the middle school game. One of the middle school games, man. Or not Injustice Free, Injustice Mobile. Yeah, that
Yeah,
first mobile game. Hell yeah. Even the arcade one's really fun. If you ever played the arcade Injustice.
I have.
Yeah, you
I
get the
have played
cards
those.
after.
That's
I still
dope.
have some of those cards. It's really cool. It's really cool, man. I got a couple blind ranks, then we'll wrap up. If that's cool for you, man.
Hmm.
These are courtesy of Luis, who could not be here but wanted to share a couple. I have two of the three that he sent me. The first one, we're gonna do the DC one. It's DC Elseworlds movies.
Okay.
Okay, ready for this one?
Yeah.
All right. A couple of these we've covered before, and then there's a couple we haven't covered before, but they're all animated. We're gonna start off with let's start off with Gods and Monsters.
Two.
Two. Okay.
Mhm.
I like that a lot. Let's go. We're gonna go Batman Soul of the Dragon.
That's it's a really fucking good movie. That's a
I
really
love
good
that
movie.
movie.
I love that movie to death. But I'm gonna go three. I'm gonna go three for right now.
Yeah.
It would be my two.
It would be mine too as well. Okay. Superman Red Sun.
Four.
4? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Batman Ninja.
Five. Five. What's one?
Your number one movie here. Jalen's favorite movie of this batch is the Injustice movie from 2021.
No.
We just talked about Injustice, man. That movie sucks
That movie
balls.
sucks. Okay. Fuck, I took an L. Batman Soul of the Dragon would definitely be number one then.
I think so. I think so.
It would be.
Easy. So shout out Gods and Monsters. The movie was cool too. Next one I got is just a couple monster movies, man. I got 6 of these. They're
Six.
2 from each. They're 2 from each monster.
Okay.
So, okay. We'll go. We'll go. Let's start with Nosferatu from 2024. This is the Robert Eggers movie. It came
It's a
out
good
black and white.
movie. I really fucked with this. I'll go two.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's go. The Mummy. Brendan Fraser.
I haven't seen this one in years.
I haven't seen it ever, man. I did the ride though.
Was it critically acclaimed? Do you know that?
I mean, they made like 3 movies. They're making a 4th one.
True.
People like
So
it.
people do love it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go four. I'm gonna go four because there are 6 spots. So I'm gonna go four.
Yeah, it is. Okay. 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 You see the new Mummy?
I have.
Good.
Oh my god. Oh my god. There's a line read. There's a
Yeah.
line read where one of the because this is the same guy that directed the most recent Evil Dead, so he brought a lot of that shit into this. And there's
Yeah.
a line read where one of the possessed characters says, "Hey, little brother." Little brother
Yeah.
says, "Yes." She says, "You want to help me get undressed?" He says, "Yes."
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow. That sounds
a
like
real line,
a really exciting movie there, pal. Thanks. You really
a
sold it there, Jalen.
real line read from Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Okay. Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. That just
That's
came out
three.
last year.
That's three.
Okay. Yeah. It's a good movie, man. Looks really pretty.
It very much so.
The Bride. Just came
6.
out recently.
6. Jesus Christ, 6.
Okay. Okay.
That was terrible.
All right. Tom Cruise is the Mummy.
5, just for his scream. That film is so funny.
You know, I own that movie because I got it from Goodwill. I've never seen that one either. I
You
haven't
should
seen
watch
any.
it.
I haven't seen a single Mummy movie of any sort.
Tom Cruise has a scream. Well, yeah, that's all I'll say. He has a scream that will be iconic
Okay.
in your mind forever.
And so you did 2 Frankenstein movies, did 2 Mummy movies, and another vampire movie. I put Renfield in here. You ever see Renfield?
One I have seen Renfield, unfortunately. That's my number one. That's
Same director as Lego Batman, though.
Yeah, and Chris McKay was gonna do a Nightwing movie in the DCEU.
Yeah.
That unfortunately did not pan out. Oh man, 2 L's in a row. We gotta
2
recover next
L's,
week.
bro. Do you think this might be like a little off tangent, but to wrap up, I mean, we're seeing like Frankenstein in the DCU, and we're getting that Nosferatu in Creature Commandos. Are we gonna see a lot of those like influences and more and more? Are we gonna see like a mummy character make a big part in Creature Commandos? And especially because
Well,
it's gods and monsters, you know?
there was a mummy character on that team.
In a
That
little
was seen
bit,
last season.
right?
So yeah, more than likely, you're gonna get the
Yeah,
full like Universal Monsters cast just in DC format. You know?
I don't mind that at all. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's really dope.
Yeah, honestly, give me a Justice League as the Universal Monsters, like Elseworlds movie.
They tried that.
When did
Well,
they?
not
When was that?
not in DC formats. They tried giving you a just
In
they tried
Marvel,
giving fans a not Justice League, but like a Marvel style Universal Monsters universe
and it went
that
bad.
completely was dead on the was dead on arrival with the Mummy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
were gonna
No,
they
no,
were
no,
gonna
not
make
this,
it.
not those like live action movies. I literally mean just like Batman as
I
a
know.
werewolf and super. Are you talking
Oh
about the Tom Cruise thing?
yeah.
No, no, no.
I
I'm
was
just
saying
talking about like literally in the DC universe, like an Elseworlds thing, but them all as little Universal
ew.
monsters. Kind of like how
What?
Batman's a vampire bat in this movie we
Yeah,
watched. You
that
know,
would be
just
dope.
just do all of them like that.
That would be dope.
Superman would have been cool if he turned into a werewolf in this movie.
He would have been cooler.
Yeah,
He
it
would
would
have
have been
gotten
cool.
even more aura.
We would have more aura. Jalen, thanks for hopping on. Next week we're gonna catch up on that absolute universe we keep hearing things about. So
Yes, we will.
thank you everyone for listening and stay tuned for that.
See
Bye.
ya.